in my opinion, is the most important discovery on the 21st century.
What scientists found in a forbidden tomb in Egypt shocked the world. Deep within the heart of Egypt lies a tomb that had remained sealed for centuries. But when scientists finally gained access to its hidden treasures, what they found inside left the world stunned and amazed. It was a discovery that would challenge our understanding of ancient Egyptian history and change the way we view the world forever. So let's dig in deeper to discover more. About 4,300 years ago, an ancient Egyptian dignitary who had access to the pharaoh's private documents suddenly passed away. Crews hurriedly attempted to embellish his gravesite but ran out of time before they could carve the decorative reliefs of sacrificial animals on the facade. Researchers think that went down in a tomb from ancient Egypt's Saqqara necropolis. According to the Polish Center for Mediterranean Archaeology at the University of Warsaw, it belonged to Mehtjetju. According to a statement released by the expedition team, he was a priest, an inspector of the royal estate, and a keeper of royal sealed records, all of which are indicated by hieroglyphics on the tomb. The artifact was unearthed at the step pyramid of King Djoser, and its discovery has been dated back to the early 6th dynasty, roughly 2300 BCE. While digging the dry moat that surrounds the pyramid complex, the team came across the tomb, which was located close to the burial site of Meretnebuth, the vizier. According to Kamil Kurikikowicz, the director of the expedition and an archaeologist, Metjetju most likely lived around the time of the first three rulers of the 6th dynasty, Teti, Uzurkare, and Pepi I. According to the statement, Metjetju's royal status would have allowed him to commission an exceptionally skilled hand to construct and embellish his tomb. Experts from the National Museum in Warsaw were called in right away to help conserve the tomb's fragile sandstone. According to the researchers, the elegance of the lines and subtlety of the modeling rival the best reliefs in the vizier's tomb. The excellent artists Mehtjetju employed were unable to finish the facade sculptures due to a lack of time. Those cow, oryx, and ibex reliefs were just preliminary sketches in black ink on lime plaster. Even though his tomb wasn't completely constructed, archaeologists are convinced that Mehtjetju was buried there. They have only uncovered the facade at this point, so they still can't see much for themselves. This fall, though, they aim to venture inside the tomb and check out the burial chamber and perhaps Mehtjetju's mummy. Kurikowicz states in a statement that if he hadn't been buried there, the tomb would most likely have been taken over by someone else. The investor probably died before the work was finished and was buried in the hastily finished tomb, so the decoration is unfinished. King Djoser's step pyramid at Sakara was the first of its type, so it's hardly a surprise that Metjetju was buried close by. Kurikowicz tells Life Science's Owen Jarous that Egyptian authorities wanted to be buried close to the important and revered king from the glorious past, despite the fact that Djoser had been dead since about 2575 BCE. Sakara was a major ancient Egyptian cemetery for almost 3,000 years. Today, the 5-mile area is dotted with the remains of temples, tombs, and walkways that, together, span the entire history of ancient Egypt, writes Smithsonian contributor Joe Marchant. The site is located about 20 miles south of Cairo on the west bank of the Nile River. Since the 1850s, researchers have been investigating Sakara, and they keep finding new and interesting things there. Several megatombs, or gigantic rooms, filled with coffins, mummies, and other things, were uncovered by archaeologists in the year 2020. According to the Smithsonian's Livia Gershon, the tomb of the Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II's treasury director was unearthed last year. These and other recent discoveries at Sakara are sure to continue to pique the interest of archaeologists like Mostafa Waziri, who told the Smithsonian in 2021, "What we found in the last 3 years is not even 10% of what we will find." Sakara has historically been overshadowed by discoveries at Luxor and the Great Pyramids. The Rosetta stone is a shattered piece that formerly belonged to a larger stone slab. It bears a message that is carved into it, and that message is written in 3 different scripts. It was a significant piece of evidence that enabled specialists to decipher Egyptian hieroglyphs, which were a kind of writing that represented concepts through pictures. The inscription on the stone is what's known as an edict, and it concerns the monarch of Egypt at the time, Ptolemy V, who ruled from 204 to 181 BC. The decree was recorded on massive stone slabs known as stelae, and these stelae were placed in each and every temple that existed in Egypt. It is stated that the king had the backing of the priest who served as a temple located in Memphis, which is located in Egypt. Due to the fact that it is just one of the numerous copies, the Rosetta Stone cannot be considered extremely significant on its own. The important thing for us is that the decree is written in 3 different scripts: hieroglyphs, suitable for a priestly decree; Demotic, the cursive Egyptian script used for everyday purposes, meaning language of the people; and Ancient Greek, which was the language of the administration. The rulers of Egypt at this point were Greco-Macedonian after Alexander the Great's conquest. A fragmented and unfinished version of the Rosetta Stone was discovered. There are 14 lines of hieroglyphic script and 54 lines of Ancient Greek throughout the document. This is of tremendous significance to the study of Egyptology. When it was first found, nobody could read the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs since nobody had ever learned how. The Rosetta Stone proved a valuable key by decoding the hieroglyphs, since the inscriptions say the same thing in 3 distinct scripts, and because researchers could still read Ancient Greek. Recently, Egypt's Minister of Tourism, Ahmed Issa, made the announcement that a secret path of 9 meters in length had been found inside the Great Pyramid of Giza. The purpose of the hallway that was found close to the main entrance of the Pyramid of Khufu and was situated directly behind the chevron zone on the north side was not immediately clear. Nonetheless, officials have speculated that it may lead to the discovery of further hidden passageways or chambers. Researchers from the Scan Pyramid Project made the discovery. This project is an international mission that has been investigating the interior structure of the pyramid since 2015, utilizing modern methods such as radiography muons, infrared thermography, and 3D reconstruction techniques. Mustafa Waziri, the president of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, informed reporters at the pyramid site that the gabled ceiling of the secret tunnel shows it was designed to lessen the pressure on the structure. But as he said, a big question mark hangs over whether this corridor was created to relieve the weight on the main entrance or to lighten the load on a space yet to be discovered. There is no clear answer to any of these possibilities. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the only ancient wonder that has been preserved to this day. It is also the largest of the Great Pyramids. It was constructed as a royal tomb some 4,500 years ago during the time of Pharaoh Khufu, who is credited with its construction. During construction of the pyramid, the chevron method was utilized to both conceal the pyramid's internal structures and keep them from toppling over. The discovery of any previously undiscovered interior structures within the ancient monument, according to scientists, could lead to a better understanding of the process that was used to build the edifice. Through the use of cosmic ray muon radiography, the same group of researchers uncovered a massive void in the Great Pyramid in the year 2017. According to researchers, this was the first substantial inner structure to be discovered in the pyramid since the 19th century. The year prior, they discovered another cavity that they did not know about on the northeastern edge of the pyramid. In this, the centennial year since the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb, archaeologists continue to make new discoveries in the area. Nearly 300 new kingdom tombs and a pyramid honoring a queen whose identity was previously unknown have been discovered at Sakara, a few kilometers outside Cairo. The coffins are adorned with scenes of the Book of the Dead and ancient Egyptian funeral literature, and include distinctive human and female faces. In addition to the deceased name, coffins often depict the 4 sons of Horus, who were responsible for guarding the deceased's vital organs. Egyptologist Zahi Hawass, who is helping with the dig, told Life Science that the most impressive casket so far contains a mask of a woman fashioned wholly of pure gold. We now know that her name was Neith, and she was completely unknown to history until now. It's incredible that we can rewrite history by inserting a new queen into the canon, Zahi Hawass exclaimed. Scientists are currently investigating the life of this queen in an effort to be able to better understand her and the 300 mummies whose graves were unearthed beside her in Saqqara. Previous research had focused on Old Kingdom and late period burials. The Egyptologist announced, "We've discovered 22 linked tombs with burials dating back to the New Kingdom. Their depths range from 9 to 18 meters. A large and strange structure lying buried in the desert sands, the Meridian Labyrinth, or Labyrinth of Hawara, was originally discovered in 1888 by Egyptologist Flinders Petrie and may relate to the one mentioned by ancient authors. Several ancient authors, including Herodotus, Strabo, Diodorus, and Pliny, have speculated that an Egyptian labyrinth contains crucial information about the country's and the world's past. The Labyrinth of Hawara is an architectural structure with thousands of rooms that are still buried in the desert sands to the south of the pyramid of Amenemhet III. There were supposedly approximately 3,000 chambers spread across 2 stories, 12 courtyards, and a single wall in the labyrinth. The walls were adorned with sculptures, and the roofs were made entirely of stone, according to Herodotus, who claims to have seen it with his own eyes. He adds that the Egyptians forbade him from exploring the subterranean section, which houses the burial sites of the 12 builder kings and the bones of sacred crocodiles. Instead, Strabo describes extensive tunnels below ground and stone roofing. The labyrinth, according to Pythagoras, is actually a huge structure. North of Hawara in the Fayum, close to Lake Meridi, Egyptologist Flinders Petrie uncovered the remnants of this ancient building. However, there wasn't enough proof that this was the legendary maze. Ground-penetrating radar used by the Mataha expedition in 2008 revealed the presence of distinct grid structures beneath the sand, right where Petrie looked for them. Petrie at the time would have mistaken the labyrinth ceiling for the ground. The finding was first reported in the scientific journal NRIAG in 2008, but further reporting was halted shortly thereafter at the request of Hawass, the Secretary of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. Scientists on the Mataha expedition eventually decided to launch a website dedicated to discussing their astounding findings. But since then, the Labyrinth of Hawara has seen no action and its secrets remain hidden. And that's all for today's video. We'll be right back soon. Don't forget to give this one a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.